I'm now moving on to the second part where we will be speaking about certain myths and beliefs which are associated with social entrepreneurship. Okay, a myth you definitely understand, it's a false belief. Let's try to break them. First one, all social enterprises will succeed. No, it is a myth. As other enterprises fail, there are certain chances social entrepreneurship will also fail. But here, there is an attempt made by Mr. Anil Kumar Gupta, who is a professor at IMA. He has a concept called as Honeybee Network. In this, he recognizes rural innovations, and to date, nearly 1 lakh ideas are promoted by this particular Honeybee Network. So it's good. As teachers, we can take this as a standing example. Second myth, social enterprises are generally small businesses. Need not be. There are very large enterprises. Giving you an example called as Arvind Eye Hospital, started by Dr. G. Venkataswamy, called as Dr. V, has spread this Arvind Eye Care all over India, and by now 32 million patients are being attended and nearly 4 million eye surgeries are conducted, most of them low cost or free. That is the power of social entrepreneurship at a large scale. Third myth, social enterprises rely on funds and grants alone. Need not be. I give you another standing example by Gloria Benny, who is a co-founder of a concept called as Make a Difference, MAD, M-A-D, Make a Difference. It is India's largest volunteer network. Here youth put their few hours in a particular week. It is actually not more than 1 hour per week, and they are helping millions and millions of people to pursue education. So this is a beautiful concept where without money you could have a social enterprise. Myth 4, social enterprises should not run a real business. It's a pure myth because actually real businesses turn out to be social entrepreneurs at a later stage. Myth 5, social enterprises must not make profits. No, they do make, they must make, otherwise they cannot sustain in the long run. Myth 6, social entrepreneurs should not pay salary. That is not possible. They have to pay salary. It has to go on. Myth 7, social enterprises are not sustainable. No, they are sustainable. They have a long story to tell. Let me give you and introduce this person. If you could recognize this person, I'm not very sure if you can, but this fellow is called as a pad man of India. And why is it called so? He is Mr. Arunachalam. He is actually a school dropout and from a very poor family background. But he revolutionized the menstrual health of rural women by inventing machines to produce cheap sanitary pads. And with these cheap sanitary pads, which he offered for not less than 2 rupees per individual, he became one of the most influential person in the world in 2014 Time magazine. And he is a person who revolutionized everything, and now he is currently planning to expand his machines to 106 nations. This is what social entrepreneurship can do. Go for a cause as well as profitable. And this is where you're having a very interesting concept which has come through. But there is a beautiful movie also called as Padman, and you can understand what are the challenges he faced to be a social entrepreneur. Myth 8, social entrepreneurs must have sufficient resources to start a venture. Need not be. With very little, they can start and grow into magnitudes. Let me give you an example of a person called as Madhu Pandit Dasa. He actually studied in IIT Bombay, Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay. Then he moved on to a temple where he became a devotee, and he went to the ISKCON temple, and they're running an enterprise which is even now there called as Akshaya Patra. Akshaya Patra means it is a vessel which never goes empty. And this is a scheme which feeds over 1 million children every day. Every day. And this is where they are having their cooking services and delivery services to different schools. So this is what social entrepreneurship can do. Next myth, social entrepreneurs must be tech savvy to educate and to start a social enterprise. Need not be. I'll give you a small example of Mr. called as Bindeshwar Pathak, who started called something called as Sulabh Toilet Movements. This is a person who gave a big leap to the Indian society by constructing toilets all over the place and charging very little amount so that hygiene could be maintained in all over places. And he is earning millions now because it is only 1 rupee per person per day, but it is a huge population and it is possible. So two things are solved: a social enterprise giving a best advantage to society. Myth 9, social entrepreneurs are usually run by middle age or elderly people. Age is never a factor here, neither gender. I'll give you an example of Karwa by Ashraf Patel, who runs a concept called as Fifth Space. Fifth Space focuses on transforming youth and building the leadership skills in these individuals. It's a social enterprise. Myth 10, social enterprises operate only in healthcare and social care. No, they're there in tourism, they're there in agriculture, they're there in fashion, entertainment, housing, sports, every field. Myth 11, social enterprise exists only in poor and developing countries. No, it is totally wrong. I give you a classic example of Ashoka, run by Bill Drayton. And this fellow in the US gives a very big foundation called as Ashoka Foundation, where there are so many fellowships being offered. And this is a classic example that even developed countries rely on social entrepreneurship. Myth 12, social entrepreneurs must work in the society that they do not stay. No, it is for everyone by everyone. Myth 13, social enterprises cannot solve complex business social problems. They have been solved. I give you an example of Muhammad Yunus. I'm very sure you've heard about this fellow who has changed the entire concept called as banking and microfinance in the country Bangladesh. And he also won the Nobel Peace Prize for his initiative of Grameen Bank in Bangladesh. So this is where we understand it can be a big changer. Next, social entrepreneurship must work on one issue at a time. No, not true. Many ideas could come. Giving an example of a person called as Bunker Roy, who runs a college called as Barefoot College. It's a barefoot college. You can understand what is a barefoot. They don't even have slippers to wear, and it runs in Asia and African. He helps thousands of people to see that remote villages are converted and illiterate women and poor villages are having engineers, doctors, architects, and much more. So this is Bunker Roy on Barefoot College.